Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is Ann DeVito of Intentional Marketer University. Welcome to our weekly Wednesday workshop for Biz Nation. I am you, Biz Nation. Welcome. We are going to be talking about this week's topic and post out on the website, so I will go ahead and post that out to our group as soon as this video is over. So today's topic, I hope that some of you can join live. I'm going to wait a few minutes, but today's topic, we are going to be going over 8 tips, productivities to get more done when working from home. So I wrote this post about productivity tips to keep myself focused on working at home behind my desk here in my house. So I have piles of dishes to this side. I have piles of toys to this side, and the TV's on, the radio's on. How do I stay focused? How can we stay focused when we're working from home? If you have a job where you're doing sales or network marketing, or you make your own products, or affiliate, or whatever type of small business you're in, you're most likely working remotely from your phone or your laptop computer, and you need to find a way where you can really utilize the smallest amount of time most efficiently, because most of us work remotely for a reason. We either have a family to take care of, or we have other obligations in our lives that we're really trying to get the most done in the shortest amount of time. So today, again, we're going to be going over 8 tips, productivity tips to get more done when you're working from home. So let's get started. So let's face it, working from home is a lot of times what we all dream of doing, having that freedom to work remotely. You're not battling traffic in the morning. You don't have to get up and be showered, do your hair, makeup. You can stay and work in your jammies if you want to. I mean, there's a list of benefits, but there's also some cons while you work from home. Number one being your share of distractions, and that it can oftentimes be pushed down the priority list when you work from home. I know when I'm working from home, and especially if my kids are home, they're like, think I'm playing solitaire over here when I'm really trying to get stuff done. So a lot of times I am up late writing blog posts and doing what I need to do for our business. So, and it's hard to turn off when it comes to work, because when you own your own business, time is money. So you gotta hustle and you gotta bust it to make sales and make deals happen. So you find yourself working all hours of the day, and that's not good either. So let's get started. The most important topic and thing that I want to cover in this broadcast is that when you're working from home, all you want to do is just start with good habits, and the rest will follow. So here are some 8 tips that I discovered in researching productivity tips out there online, and also what I follow myself. So this is what you can do to be productive and happy when working from home. Number 1, set a schedule. So just because you can work anytime, anywhere, does not mean you should. Recognize that most of the world is out there during the day. So let's say, if you're a night owl and you want to hop on the computer at 3 in the morning, chances are your customers, your vendors, your suppliers, anything, chances are they're not going to be around. They're not going to be awake unless, of course, they're on the opposite side of the world, but you know what I mean. So, in fact, some work at home experts out there recommend rising early, like you would for a regular 9-to-5 office job, showering, getting dressed for the day, and pretend that you're actually keeping that schedule. Starting earlier than normal can also equal your most productive time and your most productive hours, that you can get the most done before everybody gets out of bed. I know Meredith, she is a morning bird. She's up super early and communicating with me in an ungodly early hour, in my opinion, but she also thinks I stay up ungodly late because I am a night owl, so it works for us. But starting early can equal your most productive hours. And if you don't get ready and come out in your pajamas, you risk getting back into bed, which is something that I would do because I'm not a morning person. So additionally, you can tell people your schedule. So if you tell people you're going to be online or working at 8 in the morning till 5 p.m., then they will expect you to be there when they call you. So, and that keeps you honest and keeps you accountable to the schedule that you've communicated to other people. So be proactive in sharing that schedule, and then explain to others you'll be working during that time, and that will minimize your interruptions. So secondly, keep a calendar. Out in the online marketing space, we are always recommending content calendars for sharing what you need to share, information and value out to your potential clients and leads. So a content calendar will help you keep on track, and you can set due dates for what you need to do. So on Mondays, you go and you schedule your post for Facebook. On Tuesdays, you go and organize your images and captions for Instagram. Wednesdays, you do your Facebook Lives to your Facebook groups like we do. So try to set goals that are achievable every day and cross them off old school to feel more productive. So I'm a big fan of paper lists. I mean, I literally have this list here, and I crossed it out as I went down the list. Meredith was out on vacation last week, so we talked last week Sunday. I wrote this humongous list, and I'm happy to say that almost all but one thing is crossed off the list. So super excited about that. Number 3, designate your space. So most of you, if you worked in an office, you had a desk and a phone and an office chair and things like that, designated space where you worked. So you should have that at home as well. So if you are able at all possible, invest in a good computer, a good chair, a good and comfortable chair, and a good phone that you can use at your desk and be the most comfortable, because if you're not comfortable, chances are you are not going to be productive. So your space does not have to be fancy, but you should have the right tools and equipment to do your job. Number 4, take breaks. So if many of you or any of you worked hourly jobs, you know, you were expected, and breaks were included in your position. I've been working up until now that I work at home, but in my former life, I was on salary. So while they were not legally obligated to give me breaks, I still took them. So the average person can focus on one. I mean, actually, the stats out there vary a little bit. One stat I found said the average person can focus on one task for 90 to 120 minutes, but another one said 47 minutes. So either way, whatever range you're at, after you feel like your mind is drifting off to other things, you can't focus, take a 15-minute break. You can either get up and throw some laundry down, throw some laundry in, or put the dishes away, or if it's nice out, go take a walk or jump on your treadmill. Either way, take a 15-minute break so that you can clear your head and get back to work. So a good rule of thumb is to divide your day into 1 to 1.5 hour segments based on your tasks. And so if you only have 3 hours that you work per day, assign yourself 3 tasks that would take an hour and take a break in between. So make lunch plans with a friend, go get coffee with a friend, plan your walk around the neighborhood, grab a snack. And the best recovery is doing something active. So following that, grabbing a snack, try to eat healthy. So obviously, healthy habits are recommended in any situation. It's always a good idea to eat healthily, but it's no exception when you're talking about your productivity. So how many of you have gone out and eaten a pizza or eaten half a pizza, whatever, have pizza and beer, and you feel like a lump afterwards? So that's because that is junk food. Junk food tends to make us feel like a lump of whatever. So if you're out or if you're working at your desk and you've got a bag of potato chips at your hands here, chances are after a while, you're not going to feel so great. You're going to want to lay down and take a nap. You know, it will make you feel lethargic and overall yucky feeling. So take the time to prepare quick and healthy snacks. So maybe the night before, peel and cut some carrots, get out some ranch dressing. Just prepare something to go to when you are ready to take a break and you don't feel like spending a lot of time with your snack. Number 6, communicate with others regularly. So working at home is a whole other world, especially when you're used to sitting at a desk and having people pop by your desk, or if you go to the kitchen to fill your water glass. That was one thing that I always did. I would pop up and go get ice and water for my water cup and, talk to my friends on the way. It totally changes when you start working at home. You're living a much more solitary life. I will be the first to admit that. So you want to be able to continue productive communication strategies. So if you have a team, you want to be able to be productive with them communicating regularly. So let's go over a few important tools that I think would be good, or that we think are good communication tools and rules of thumb. So instant messaging. So this can be as easy as using the chat function on Facebook. However, Facebook can lead to other distractions like Facebook. I mean, how many people get distracted jumping on Facebook, and then all of a sudden an hour has gone by and you've just been looking at your news feed. So other tool that you can check out would be the Google Gmail. It's called Google Chat. It's an instant messaging application. You can use that to be instantly online with your team. So much like I would sign into my computer at my old desk job, I sign into my computer here and Google Chat is loaded, and when I open up the laptop, I show online. So these are good for informal check-ins and quick questions, things like that. Email can be used for more formal communication or sending documentation or longer questions that need a fuller communication to respond. So it works great for working at home. Just jump on Gmail, or you can have a paid domain as well. And of course, video calls. We have Zoom is our tool of choice here at IMU. You can do a free account and have up to like 50 or 55-minute meetings for free. So we like that. Meredith and I will use Zoom, but there's also Google Hangouts, and Skype, of course, have free versions you can use. So minimize your distractions. I just mentioned Facebook, so it's probably a good idea not to have your social media pages up and running while you're trying to get stuff done. That is a rule of thumb. And maybe just set designated times to check those pages like Facebook, check it at lunch, check it after work, and after that, just keep it down. And if you have notifications turned on your phones for those websites, I do not have notifications turned on my social media apps on my phone because I would be distracted all day, not only from work, but from important events like driving or picking up my kids and spending time with my kids and spouse. Notifications are pretty much a hassle to me. I don't like receiving them, so I will check my phone maybe on the hour or every 2 hours. It's perfectly reasonable to give yourself a little time to respond to people. So number 8, committing to doing more. This is our last productivity tip. So when I make out my list for the day, I might overcommit myself, thinking I can get more done than I probably can, but it inevitably adds more things to my list, but it also lights a little fire under me and keeps me accountable, especially when I commit this list to my business partners. So similarly, if you have a business partner or a team, if you commit to doing more for that day or that week, it's gonna, especially if you're accountable to somebody, it's gonna keep you motivated to get through that list. So definitely communicate that list, overcommitted list, and if you can't complete everything you've committed to, at least you tried, and you can explain why you weren't able to get to it. It just keeps you disciplined, it keeps you accountable. But working at home also gives you the freedom to set your own schedule, to take a day off, take the afternoon off, go golfing if the weather's nice. It can be extremely rewarding to be able to, pick your kids up from school. The list goes on, and it's totally worth it. So just find a little discipline, set up some structure for yourself, and you'll find that you will be much more productive than you probably thought you could be working from home. So if you have any other productivity tips that have helped you in the past, I invite you to comment below this live video. I would love to see what some of you have used in your working from home, some of your tricks for being productive. Let us know, share it with the group. That would be great. So